Everybody. Thank you for a great couple of weeks. I figured it was time to do an update, and I wanted to do this through a video update, just to kind of share kind of the status of the project, a new Kickstarter tier I want to add for some of you out there. I wanted to say thank you for a great couple of weeks. We're coming up on the second half of the campaign. It was a slightly shorter campaign than normal. I only did 25 days instead of maybe the normal 30. So we got another 12 days to go. And with one more or two backers, we'll be above the 50% mark on hitting our goal. So we're doing pretty good. Nervous it's going to come down to the final, hours, day, depending on how the last few days go. But we'll see. So, if you're a backer on this project, or even if you're just interested in it, but you can't afford to back it at the moment, still would really appreciate you sharing this on your Facebook page, your Twitter account, your Instagram, just with your friends that you think might like it. Help them understand what Kickstarter is and how it works, because there's always still people who aren't familiar with this platform and how it's a great way to support creators and get new stuff made. But thank you for the progress we've got so far. We're doing good. I'm going to keep working hard to promote the comic and talk about it. A couple quick things too. I'm actually in the final week to 2 weeks of work on the actual production of the comic. So I've got 9 pages left to draw and 9 pages left to color, and that's it. It'll all be finished. And what I would like to do this week, if possible, is when I actually ink the final page of the comic, I would like to do a live stream with you all so that you can come by and talk and learn more about the comic process and stuff like that. But on to the new tiers. So one thing I have not sold much at all since the first campaign is some of the original pages from the comic. So Adamsville at this point is completely drawn digitally. I ink it, I pencil it, pretty much every part of the process is done directly in the computer. But in the first 30 to 40 pages of the first book, those pages were all done traditionally. So I actually have original pages. And I figured I would put these up into the campaign as a very limited tier for those who are interested in this sort of thing. So they are, there's only 24 pages, I believe, going up for sale. I'm going to randomize the process. It's the only way I know to really do it fairly. But one of the pages is actually the very first page of the entire comic. This was before I added the opening scene with Chloe playing basketball in the first book. So that page is actually going to be up in this grouping of pages that are up for sale through the pledges. The cool thing with all this is you're going to have an opportunity to get some of the first appearances of some of the characters. So we've got, the first appearance of Chloe as I drew it. I've also got the first appearance of Todd, the character Todd, and Derek. There's the first appearance of Todd in the comic. So there's an opportunity here to get a piece of the actual original artwork, and it's, like I said, very limited because there's only 40-some pages that I ever drew this way, and only really about 30 of them all together that are, I think, feel comfortable selling in any capacity, because a bunch of them I actually added a bunch of digital corrections and stuff like that. So they don't necessarily look as great from a selling standpoint. But I want to put these up in the tiers, so I'm going to put the details for the tier below. You'll be able to see what the new tier details are. I will also accept add-ons as a part of this, and I'll try to monitor the total number of sales if it looks like we're going to exceed the limits. But I'm going to make part of the backing pledges something for people who already own the first 2 books, to be able just to get the third, plus the slipcase, as well as one of the original pages. And then I'll also do a tier that will include the whole box set that will include an original page if you prefer to go it that way. So I will get these tiers up for everybody. If you have questions about it, it just got dark outside, sorry about the light going out. But if you have questions about all this, please let me know. Happy to talk with you about it. Last thing I guess I was going to dive into is just sort of an update on the production end of things. I was able to see a early build of the slipcases. The printer that I'm using, which is a local company, is working on a proof of it that I should get in the next week, I think, so that I can have a look at them and approve it before we do any sort of mass production on them. Obviously, we need to finish the campaign and pass our goal to do that. But the boxes look pretty good. I didn't want to share the picture at this point because it's still kind of crude. Like you can still see where they were piecing stuff together. It was all done by hand. But I think they look good. I just got to see a sample of what it's basically going to look like, and it was great. The slip cases are actually one of the hardest things I've ever tried to put together from a Kickstarter tier perspective. There's so few printers that do them, and there's so few that do it at a reasonable price. One of the earliest quotes I had was going to have us spending $10 per slipcase, and that was just excessive. That was just the cost, let alone anything else being added from a shipping standpoint and everything else. But I found a group that I think is going to put together a nice product that's going to be, it's going to look nice, also is affordable, and will allow us to, put the whole package together in a way that's feasible. Especially since these books are for younger readers, I really do try to be somewhat price conscious, right? I don't want to sell books for $30 when I know kids are going to have them. That's, it just kind of gets a little excessive at some point. So, but it's going well. I think they look good. And when I get one in and ready to share it, I'll certainly try to post up some pictures and stuff like that so you guys can see what it looks like. But in the meantime, like I said, we got some new original pages. I've got 24 that I'm going to add up for the tiers. So if this is something you'd like to own a piece of, you would be one of the very, very few who has a piece. So give it a look. Let me know. Like I said, please continue to share the campaign around. We are going to have a tight race towards the end, it looks like. Like I said, doing well, but it might come down to the wire, which is never super fun, but we'll take it if it means we hit our goal. Thanks again, everybody. I hope you're having a good one. And again, thank you so much for your backing of the campaign.